10,000 steps, 1,000 words, 100 reps, and 10 pages reading. Part of that is how I lost 1 pound. It's been many years since I tried to distinctly lose weight, and actually did for like more than 5 pounds. The gist of it is my cousin's getting married. It's in Hawaii. It might be the first time in years that I have my shirt off in front of people. So I want to be in better shape. What I've been thinking is like 15 weeks, lose 15 pounds. Might be a little aggressive. We'll see if I can do that. And already in my language, I'm already like quitting that. I'm saying we'll see instead of I'm going to blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we'll see. I'll be happy if I lose 10 pounds in that time. Even if I lose 5 pounds, I'll be like pretty happy with that. But yeah, the goal is 1 pound a week. So I'm trying again, and I've seen some results. I've lost, let's call it a pound. Of course, your weight can fluctuate, like plus or minus 3 pounds. Water weight, you can gain 5 pounds over the weekend. But let me just go into each of the 4 things and how they relate to this weight loss, because those are the standards that I'm trying to hit every day. So number 1, walking. If you're into fitness at all, you'll see a bunch of like walking is the new meta. 10,000 steps. Walking is better than other forms of cardio if it's like strictly for weight loss. If you can do that like 10,000 steps, then it's just going to be more sustainable than jumping into some kind of cardio program. And what I've done in the past week is increase the steps. So I've averaged about 15,000. So it's another 5,000 steps. The good thing is that these treadmill sessions, of course, like double as creative time, where I can like write, edit, brainstorm, and also getting the walks outside as well. So I've been doing about like a 40-minute walk outdoors every day. I've seen this called a like negative calorie habit. Once I feel hungry, I think about, can I go for a walk? And oftentimes the walk will like remove that craving, or it just like distracts me because I'm either outside where the food isn't available at all, or I'm on the treadmill here in the office where I can just read, write, be on the computer, and then that, I guess, distracts me enough from needing to snack. The next thing here, the 100 reps represent weights. Like, I haven't been doing 100 reps every day, but this is more about like the weights and nutrition aspect of like the day-to-day. I'm still sort of trying to nail down like what program to do. But this week, what I did do was 3 barbell workouts, reverse pyramid training, doing pretty much like heavy top set, then drop 10%, but try to do 1 more rep, and then drop another 10% on the next set, and then as many reps as possible. It makes it interesting because you always have a goal for, at least for the first and last set, it's like a clear goal. Of the heavy set, you just want to see like, can I complete 5 reps of that? And then for the last set, it's going to be a weight that I've done 5 reps of in the past, but now I'm going to try to do as many reps as possible. Then on the nutrition side, I've been tracking my calories with MyFitnessPal for like a month now. I tracked it without really worrying too much about actually changing my diet at the time. Usually like you'll jump on, like you'll get all that motivation, and then you want to make all these changes at once. And I've heard this too, of course, like, oh yeah, just try to do one thing at a time. But no matter what, you just end up like trying to do too much at a time. So now I'm going to, preach something that I really didn't practice for a long time. Instead of trying to build the habit of tracking while also changing my diet, I just tried to build the habit of tracking without making the adjustments. And this helped me like face the truth in a way. It's similar to productivity. There's this Cal Newport idea of face the productivity dragon, or like getting things done. You just like write a bunch of lists of everything that's going on, and then you can face the dragon, basically, see what's really going on. And in the same way, that's what I did. I just tracked everything that I was eating without making the adjustments yet. My parents were staying with us for 3 weeks, and I kind of knew like, okay, my mom's probably going to be cooking, or we're going to be eating out. These are like 2 challenges that a lot of people run into, is where they have a little less control over the food that's being offered. You always have control over what you put into your mouth and eat, but the circumstances make it a little bit more difficult. So I just said, I'm not gonna like worry too much about it. Let me just track it and then see like how that goes. And that was pretty eye-opening. I already knew, oh yeah, eating out, that's gonna be a lot of calories. But if we went out for Chinese food, for ramen, for whatever it is, and then adding all the items together, and it's like, oh, this is, in my head, I'm like, maybe like 1,000 calories, big meal. But then it was easily like 2,000, sometimes like 2,500 in a dinner. Seeing the actual numbers was eye-opening. That helped me. What I did this past week to lose that 1 pound is I started to make the adjustments. And I kind of forced it. I paid for 3 days of a meal prep service, doing like the full days. So it was every meal for 3 days. And this was kind of, I knew I wasn't going to do it long term, but I wanted to try that out to see what it was like to basically, and then, yeah, at the door, then there's like bags and then, 16 different meals. So it's 4 meals between like 300 and 500 calories each. That was really good practice for those 3 days to just eat that and then feel what that's like. What I mean by practice is getting the reps in of stopping before I'm like completely full. It's just much harder to do that when there's a platter in front of you and you have to regulate it yourself versus once it's done, it's done. Like otherwise I am like going into the next meal, I have to open another box. And I kind of know it's a lot more concrete actually that like I'm going beyond the window of this meal. I think that was probably the biggest thing to, of course, like losing 1 pound a week. Next up on the writing front, so writing 1,000 words, I've been getting back to writing every day. What I've been doing is these shorts about fitness, capturing this journey in words. I've been writing scripts for these shorts about Chrono Trigger and fitness. I'll get to the Chrono Trigger part because it's the reading part. That's what I've been reading about this week. But it's been good to just like be writing again with output in mind. Because yeah, I went a few months where I really just like wasn't making videos. Journaling is great, but there's a higher bar for like writing for things that will be published. But I've also been journaling, just like journaling this weight loss journey. There's a tendency to overplan with all the motivation early on when starting some kind of program. This is some of the stuff that I've been writing about is like, what do the 15 weeks look like? Where will it be like hardest? Especially like the first 2 weeks when you're trying to lose weight or not even losing weight, but just like trying to make a change, right? It's the same thing as first 2 weeks of January. You're so motivated. Once that like runs out, you'll start to run into some challenges. For me, just timing wise, there's a few birthdays to celebrate. Those big social events become a little bit challenging. In any case, the writing has helped me document things right now. Also, it has been a creative outlet, writing about Chrono Trigger. That brings me to the reading part, so reading 10 pages a day. I've been doing that. I'm reading this book by Patrick Holleman. Maybe it's Holleman, but it's called Reverse Design Chrono Trigger. He has a series of books where he breaks down different games, mostly RPGs. And it's like mostly about like statistics and then the storytelling structure of the game. I've really been loving the book. I haven't played Chrono Trigger all the way through. I'm pretty sure since 1995 when it came out. I know that I've played it for a few hours at a time every like 5 years. I'll have an emulator or like buy some version, like an iPhone version of it, and then play it for a little bit. It was fun to like read about it and realize I didn't notice any of these things at all that he's talking about like story structure and it's actually like a pretty easy RPG as things go because it was one of the first ones that I played. I didn't know what to compare it to. I didn't know if it was easy or not. One of the things I did notice, right, is he points out that bookshelves, I think this is supposed to tie into the importance of reading every day, but bookshelves in the game are used in very specific places to represent people that have a bunch of knowledge. So I think like Chrono might have a bookshelf, Luca has a bookshelf in her house, and then the Kingdom of Zeal has bookshelves kind of everywhere. It was this civilization that had all this knowledge. And luckily, like we have books everywhere. You can buy a book and have it within a minute. Definitely like if you are into Chrono Trigger at all, it's worth reading. Really love it. What are other things about Chrono Trigger and fitness? It's really been on my mind. I might do like a separate video just specifically about that, but another thing from it is just like the structure of Chrono Trigger. Of course, there's the plot and like the story that's written there, but in the medium of video games, there's the structure and pacing of the different quests. And he breaks it down into like how many battles there are within each quest, and then where the save points are and what that kind of represents. It's something where Magus's castle is it's in 3 sections, and some of the sections have like up to 6 enemies, and that's where it's supposed to make it feel like the ending of the game. And it's this trick that the game designers pulled where you feel like that might be like the ending of the game, is what it's supposed to start to feel like. And of course it's not. There's still like the other quests after, and ultimately like the end is Lavos. At a high level, looking at sort of again like week to week of like 15 weeks. If each week is a quest, which is, now I'm stretching it a bit, but if each week is a quest, like which one of the weeks is going to be difficult, and then how will I handle it? And then I guess like the closing in Chrono Trigger, there's, you know, normal attacks, and then there's techs, and then you can do single techs, double techs, triple techs. The double and triple techs are where two characters combine to do something, to combine for an attack. The cool thing is that it's stronger than the sum of its parts. Fitness-wise, like this past week is one of the first weeks in a long time where I dialed all three things in. So if you think of like the triple tech of fitness, it would be weights, cardio, and then nutrition. Depending on your goals, some of those are more important than others. So for gaining strength, of course, like the weightlifting will be the most important thing. For fat loss, losing weight, nutrition is the most important thing. This is the first time that I've really been able to like hit the weight workouts, get the extra walking in, the extra cardio there, and track and adjust my eating to hit my like nutrition goals, calories, macros, aim for the triple tech. And that will be like the main thing for the next, 15 weeks. And hopefully I post every week, but we'll see. Thanks for checking this out.